It was a beautiful day. I didn't care what people were telling me that there was going to be a storm. So I went to get my nails done because I had no fear that anything was going to happen.
And we didn't realize how high the water was actually going to come that night. We didn't expect, to make it out of this storm alive.
Sandy swirls along.
Hurricane Sandy threatening a massive stretch of the U.S.
Behind the building. Oh my God, it's washing everything away!
That night when I looked down in the ocean was nothing like I ever seen before. It was Mother Nature looking to eat not only my family, but my community up. And my main concern was getting in touch with my wife, because she had no clue what was about to unfold.
When my husband called me, he put such a fright in me because I've never heard him speak that way, the tone in his voice. He didn't say a lot, it was the way he said it. Just as I turned here, the cops came and they told me they're not allowing me to go down there. I got out of the car and I told them, I don't care what you say. I live down here. This is my house, my home, my kids, my husband. They're down there. I have to get there. And I got out of the car, I locked my car, and I ran. I ran as fast as I could.
I turned around and the waves are starting to come by my feet too. They followed me from the beach to here, and that's how fast the water came up. By the time I got off the phone with my wife, telling her that this is going to be a very severe storm, I was in water that was up to I would say I was in 3 or 4 inches of water.
I get home, I see water coming into the house, and I freak out. I get every single towel, put it up against the door in the back, in my son's bedroom, along the walls, everything, thinking that that's gonna stop the water from coming in, regardless of it coming in through every crack and every crevice. I come around and I see my husband at this door.
So I figured I'd run into the house and I grab the door and I get glued to the door. The electricity somehow was being transferred through the water and I grounded myself and I just got knocked down to the floor.
He was on the other side of the door trying to push in.
The waves are hitting me on my back and it's trying to wash me around and I can't get off the door.
All I can see is his big eyes right here, like almost helpless.
Next thing I know, a giant explosion. When the power got knocked out, I got knocked off the door and the current washed me out on the side of the house. I felt something pull me to the house, like I was glued to the house, and I hear my kids yelling, and they pulled me through the window.
We come up the stairs after we get Nick through the window, and we're in utter shock as to what's going on. I looked outside and the truck was actually washing, down the block. And at that point I knew that's it. We're not getting out of here. And the stuff that was coming out from the ocean into your own backyard. People's cars, containers, the transformers on the poles exploding in the distance, green flashing in the sky. It was like you were looking into a horror movie.
The storm is on top of us right now.
This storm is basically one of the largest we've ever seen in the Atlantic Basin.
The weather is intensifying and it's just going to get worse.
The largest storm surge ever in New Jersey, right over there at just about 8 feet.
There was violent banging up against the side of the house. The whole house started rocking and shaking. Chandelier was moving. And all you would be concerned about is the house going to survive this storm?
I had a fear. I wouldn't let anybody know. What if you fall down the stairs? You're gonna drown. There's no way of getting back up. The water was to the ceiling at one point.
And we looked at each other and I seen the fear in each and every one of our, our faces. Are we gonna be able to survive this storm?
As the sun rises on the devastation.
After a night of destruction that hasn't even begun to be assessed.
Along the coast, there is destruction on a scale that this region has never before witnessed.
It's going to take a long, long time for those coastal communities to recover.
I don't believe in 100-year storms anymore. I believe that Mother Nature could throw you
a curveball.
A curveball, and in a month's time from now, we could be seeing a storm worse than Hurricane Sandy. And you know what?
We have to prepare for that.
You have to prepare.